Well, hello. Welcome to Song and Story Time again this week. Remember to text to the number on the screen. What is it, Malachi?
260-593-1983.
One more time.
260-593-1983.
Let us know that you're here. And if you want to think about a response to this question and say something to us about what you think, you can do that. Or this question can also be just food for thought at home. How is Jesus inviting you to join in the work that he's doing? All right, first let's have a sing-along time.
Well, welcome back to another morning of singing, boys and girls. We're so happy to have you here again with us this morning. And we're happy to have Hannah here to help us sing, both leading and with the drums. And we're happy for a new day of being able to be together again. Today's theme is about justice. And justice is a very important word in the Bible. And justice has to do with doing what is right. Sometimes it's doing what is right to with people who have been wronged. And so our three songs today have different things to do about justice. And we're going to start out with one that we sang, actually, boys and girls, you were standing up here and you sang this for the congregation, I think last year, called Planting Seeds of Love by Pam Donkin. And this is a sing and response song. So Hannah's going to help us with that today. And on the chorus, it's sing and response. It says, and as they grow, and as they grow, they overflow, in every, no, you point to Daddy, in every part, in every part of my heart. Okay, so you just repeat what I'm singing, and I'll sort of help you through the first time to get it. I'm sure you remember this song. You ready to go? Planting seeds of love. I am planting. We're going to start. I am planting seeds of love in my heart. I am planting seeds of love in my heart. And as they grow, I'll take them everywhere I go. I am planting seeds of love in my heart. Here we go. And as they grow, they overflow, in every part of my heart, heart to heart, friend to friends. Now everyone together, sing it out again. Now we say, you are planting seeds of kindness. You are planting seeds of kindness in my heart. You are planting seeds of kindness in my heart. And as they grow, I'll take them everywhere I go. You are planting seeds of kindness in my heart. And as they grow, they overflow in every part of my heart, heart to heart, friend to friend. Everybody sing it out again. God is planting seeds of peace in my heart. God is planting seeds of peace in my heart. And as they grow, I'll take them everywhere I go. God is planting seeds of peace in my heart. And as they grow, they overflow in every part of my heart. Heart to heart, friend to friend. Sing it out again. Justice. God is planting seeds of justice in my heart. God is planting seeds of justice in my heart. And as they grow, I'll take them everywhere I go. God's planting seeds of justice in my heart. And as they grow, they overflow in every part of my heart. Heart to heart, friend to friend. Sing it out again. We are planting seeds of song in our hearts. We are planting seeds of song in our hearts. And as they grow, we'll take them everywhere we go. We are planting seeds of song in our heart. And as they grow, they overflow in every part of my heart. Heart to heart, friend to friend. Sing it out again. You can sing that song wherever you go, can't you? That's a great song. The next song is another one, boys and girls, that we did in church for the congregation about a year ago. And this was a song by Pete Seeger called God's Counting on Me. And I think this is a great song because I think it has to do with prayer. You know, there are different kinds of prayer. There's sort of the prayer where we bow our heads and we talk with God or we talk with Jesus. There's also a different kind of prayer that we do with our hands and with our feet. Suppose you see a piece of something messy, like a crumpled papers on the ground when you walk outside. And do we say, I think I'll pray to God. God, would you please take away these awful papers that are messing up your beautiful earth? That's sort of a strange thing to do, isn't it? Instead, we can pray with our hands and we can pray with our feet by walking up and picking up the trash and throwing it away. The same thing might happen if you are in school and you see someone who's new maybe at school, and at lunchtime maybe they're sitting by themselves and they feel lonely because they don't have friends. In that kind of a situation, we probably wouldn't pray to God, dear God, I hope that you'll bring a friend to this new person. Because God has told us that we should love one another. And so our way of praying in that situation is to walk up and introduce ourselves and become friends to people who don't have friends. God's counting on me. God's counting on you. Oh, when we look and we see things are not what they should be, God's counting on me. God's counting on you. Oh, when we look and we see things are not what they should be, God's counting on me. God's counting on you. Here's hoping we all pull through. Hoping we all pull through. Hoping we all pull through, me and you. When there's big problems to be solved, let's get everyone involved. God's counting on me. God's counting on you. When there's big problems to be solved, let's get everyone involved. God's counting on me. God's counting on you. Here's Here's hoping we all pull through, hoping we all pull through, hoping we all pull through, me and you. Oh, when you see someone in need, it's time to pull up your sleeves. God's counting on me. God's counting on you. Oh, when you see someone in need, it's time to pull up your sleeves. God's counting on me. God's counting on you. Here's hoping we all pull through, hoping we all pull through, hoping we all pull through, me and you. So don't give up and don't give in. Working together we all can win. God's counting on me. God's counting on you. So don't give up and don't give in. Working together we all can win. God's counting on me. God's counting on you. Here's hoping we all pull through, hoping we all pull through, hoping we all pull through, me and you. Whew, nice. For our quiet song today, we're going to do one by Brian Moyer Suderman. Take good care of the land and water. This has to do with... This song is interesting because it's a song, you imagine it being sung by God to us. So if you think of God singing this song to us about how he wants us to care for the world around us. Take good care of the land and water. Take good care of the creatures too. Take good care of one another. I'll be taking good care of you. There's enough for every creature if you don't exceed your share. Let creation be your teacher as you live your calling to care. So take good care of the land and water. Take good care of the creatures too. Take good care of one another. I'll be taking good care of you. Thank you.
Welcome back. Thank you for those songs, Malachi and Hannah. And I know
Matthew.
Hannah, did I say Malachi?
You said
wow,
Malachi.
that would be Hannah's brother, Matthew and Hannah. I know Hannah is here today, and I believe that Oliver and Ellis are here today. And
Hello again.
we need to give a happy birthday to Oliver because today is his 11th birthday. And Oliver, watch What's Growing next week because I think we'll be putting some of your pictures on it. All right, well, hello to anyone else who's tuning in today. We are glad all of you are here. And hello to James, who joins us here in the sanctuary. All right, remember that the question for this week is, how is Jesus calling you to join in the work that Jesus is doing? Something to think about this week. All right, let's review the big story. Remember that you can chime on in on words that you know as we come to them. God created, and it was
Good.
Humans missed the mark, and God stuck with them. God called a family. When the people became slaves, God sent Moses and delivered them. They learned how to live in shalom community. They learned that there is only one God, and we love God with all our being. The people got to the promised land, and they got in a cycle of missing the mark, and God sent judges. God called Samuel to be a prophet, but the people wanted a king. So Samuel anointed kings. Solomon built a temple in Jerusalem to be a gathering place for worship of God. But all the kings continued to miss the mark, and the king divided into the north, Israel, and the south, Judah. God worked through the prophets and stuck with the people. Even as first the north and then the south kingdom fell to foreign superpowers. Many of the people were captured and put into exile, and others were left in the ruins of what had been their home. In exile, the people learned a lot. They learned how to worship God, and they learned about God's hope. And after 70 years, the exiled people were allowed to return. And they built Jerusalem and the temple, and then they waited for a Messiah. And God sent Jesus, a baby Messiah who was announced by angels, visited by shepherds and magi, and proclaimed by Simeon and Anna. When Jesus' life was in danger, his parents fled with him to Egypt. And they stayed there until it was safe for them to return back and settle in Nazareth. There, Jesus grew up in the wisdom of God. And then he was baptized by his cousin, John. And that brings us to today's song, which is called Come Follow and Come See. Jesus calls disciples to be with him in the work he's doing, invites them to come follow and come see. Healing, teaching, seeing who they are, he tells them they all soon will see. What Jacob saw, the spider, the heavens open up, and now and always, God is one, only God.
Zeph, you reminded me of being at a rock concert many years ago when I sang in a microphone with one person up that close. That was pretty fun. So today's story is about Jesus getting ready for his work. And Jesus invites a lot of people to follow. We often think of just the 12 disciples that followed Jesus, but there were many, many more than that. Malachi, can you talk a little bit about this, about all these disciples?
Yes, so as you said, there were thousands of disciples, and we are disciples today, but there were 12 people who were appointed apostles, which basically mean that if one of them says something, it's kind of like Jesus said it. But as I have said, there were many more disciples, and many of these were women.
Yeah, yep. So when we read the stories this week, things may sound a little bit different than you've heard them before. Because these same stories of Jesus calling disciples are told in many different ways in the different books of the Bible, in the different Gospels. And that's because they're told by different people. So Zeph, if you and Malachi would both describe something that happened, would you tell the story exactly the same way?
No.
Why?
Usually we both break it up into as little details as possible, but sometimes we say what happened in a different way.
That's true. And you each emphasize different details and that kind of thing. Does that mean one or both of you are lying?
Well, not necessarily.
Not usually, right?
Because even if we tell it differently, that doesn't mean that one of us is lying.
Yeah, that's true. So often, Mom and I have to ask both of you for the stories so we get a bigger understanding of what actually happened. And that's a lot like what's happening here in the Gospels, in the first 4 books of the New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Different people tell the stories of Jesus a little bit differently. Matthew will tell one story one way, and Luke will tell one way. Mark will tell a story one way. John might just leave that story out. And these different gospel writers tell different parts of the story of Jesus, and all together, they help to give us a whole picture of what happened and what Jesus did and who Jesus was.
So as you read the story this week, I hope that you start to think about listening for how God is calling you. Jesus calls every single one of us to come and follow and to come see. All right, back to that question of the week. Think about it. How is Jesus inviting you to join in the work that Jesus is doing? And let's see, I think we have one more call out. Yeah, Dakota and Briggs. Hello,
Hi,
you
guys.
two. I'm so glad that you're watching today.
Did you finish your penguins?
Daniel knows all kinds of things about people in this church because he visits them on Saturdays for Casting Hope.
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and sing the big song. Ready? It's getting very long. This is the story of how it all began. God made matter and chaos shattered. Eve and Adam, they tried to hide. The world got violent and God replied with a mark and a flood and a rainbow sign. God's love written on skin and sky. Then God called a family to be a blessing to the earth. A mother and her favorite son wrestle for the blessing. Another son becomes a slave. The land is saved from famine. God's family grows. Egypt oppressed as they groan to God. And God sends Moses 10 strange signs, say, please release them. By the sea, God saves them. Oh, the people complain, and God rains bread, daily food, and 10 new rules. 5 sisters come and ask for land. God says yes, amend the law. Moses says in your new life across the Jordan, love God with your whole heart and with all your being and your strength. Now listen, God is one, only God. God is one, only God. Cross over Jordan, swords and stones, circuits and shouts, and the walls come down. God sends judges like Deborah, and the land has rest. Ruth's worth more than 7 sons. Redeem the lost with steadfast love. Corruption in the temple, and God sends Samuel. God gives them a prophet. They ask for a king. Does God need a temple? A wise king forgets. And when a bully rules the land, the nation tears apart and loses David's heart. Through a widow's gift and a prophet's cry, God brings life in desperate times. Josiah reads a misplaced scroll. He turns to God wholeheartedly, like David did in his time. God gives Jeremiah a picture of God's ruined family. Is there any hope left? Is there any hope left? Is there any hope left for you? Jerusalem, any hope? Any hope left? Is there any hope left for you? Jerusalem. By the streams of Babylon, how can we sing when you are gone? Jerusalem, Jerusalem, I'm in
These bones are Israel, God's breath is hope. Haman plants death for Esther's exiles. She risked her life so they might survive. Finally, God's family rebuilt a temple in Jerusalem. God plunges them into a sea of joy and celebration of only God. God is one, only God. Comfort to Jerusalem, your warfare finally ceases. Matthew lists these generations, Abraham to Jesus. The angel says you'll have a son, and God will give him David's throne. Mary says, God looked at me, now I'm the luckiest person around. Mary, now a pregnant fiancé, makes a grueling journey. She has a baby. Shepherds see angels declaring God's glory and peace among people. The Spirit sends shepherds and elders and prophets to tell those who wait their Messiah has come. Herod gets nervous, the Magi find Jesus. They hide their discovery and hurry back home. Once again an angel comes to Joseph, so they make good their escape. Oh, Jesus in the temple, astonishing the crowd. Jesus with his parents, Jesus growing up. Down by the Jordan with the prophet John, Jesus asked to be baptized, and the skies are opened. A dove descends, a voice from heaven says, this is my son, the son I love. I'm pleased with him. Jesus calls disciples to be with him in the work he's doing. Oh, God loves every one of us, it's true, and God loves the universe.
Have a great week.
See you next week.